In this unit, we're going to talk about the most critical relationship of all, the relationship between you and your customer. Whether or not your customer is the person beside you, the department beside you, or the end user or buyer of your product or service, that customer determines what the right thing to do is. And remember, the real payoff to organizations comes when we can get people who are doing things right to also do the right thing. Why don't we listen to our customers better? Why don't we listen more clearly so that we'll always end up doing the right thing? We have lots of good reasons. Most of us are very busy. Most of us work very hard. Some of us have bosses who tell us to shut up and do what they want to do. Sometimes the customer doesn't know what the customer wants. Sometimes the customer isn't there to ask. There's an old rule in management called the 30-foot rule. If a person is more than 30 feet away from you, they might as well be 30 miles away from you. But you'll know what all customers want if you put on your own customer's hat, because we too are customers. What do we want from any person that's delivering a product or service to us? We want a product of high quality. We want a relationship with the people who deliver that product that's positive and supportive and hopefully friendly. We want integrity from the people and organizations that we do business with. We want them to stand behind those products and services. We want delivery when we want delivery, not when it's convenient for the supplier to deliver something. An expense should equal the value. We want good value for our money. Pride. For example, what do any of us want when we go into a restaurant? The first thing is we want products of high quality. It doesn't matter if you're ordering a hamburger or a filet, we want it to be the best hamburger it can possibly be. And then we want a positive relationship with the establishment, and especially the person delivering the food to us. We want her or him to be courteous, prompt, polite. Have you ever gone into restaurants where you wondered why the waiters have the uncanny ability not to look at your table when you want some more water? We want people who look at us and who are worried about meeting our needs as customers. Then we want integrity. If we order something and it comes back different than what we ordered, we want them to fix it. If it's cold, we want them to make it hot. I went to a very posh, overpriced restaurant recently, and my wife ordered duck. She wanted her duck cooked crisp. It came back and looked raw to us. So we sent it back 2 or 3 times. They didn't change it at all, and finally the chef came out, glared at my wife and said, "Madam, you obviously don't understand duck." What we understood was it wasn't what she wanted. And then you want delivery. You want your food served promptly while it's still hot, while you're still hungry. And lastly, you want to make sure that the expense equals the value, that you've gotten good value for your money, that you don't mind paying the bill because it was well worth it. How do you and I deliver pride through the chain at work, through that chain of customers all the way down to the end customer? We receive input from one department or person, we add value to it, and we deliver something else to the next person in the chain. In order to do that, we have to be constantly aligned with the needs of our customers. And remember, the needs of our customers change all the time. It looks like this. We're talking about the relationship between customers and suppliers and alignment. Do you remember when we used to settle as consumers for a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty, 1 year, and then we were stuck? The automobile manufacturers provided us a 1-year warranty. And then our needs changed. The public demanded greater protection. We wanted 5 years of protection. And those manufacturers that wanted to stay in business provided that as well. Those that want to capture the business in the future are already starting to wonder, what are we going to want next? So that they can gear up to meet those needs. Now, this is a picture of an industry, the automobile industry, responding to us, the public. Remember, every manufacturer also has a chain that extends back into that organization. If the salespeople are out in the marketplace discovering that the public needs are changing from 1 year to 5 years, they have to become aligned with engineering Sales has to go back into the company to engineering and say, we've got a problem. The public wants 5-year warranties. We have to start building cars that last 5 years or longer. Engineering has to develop those and go to manufacturer and say, we've got a problem. We've designed it, now we've got to build it. And remember, the benefits of staying on this line. As long as you are aligned with the needs of your customers, you eliminate rework, you eliminate waste, and you lower your costs. Let's take a look at another example. A group of people, well-meaning, hard-working, who simply are unable to deliver a quality product because they're not aligned with each other.
Come on, Ann, you know that was out of our control.
Maybe. But we had an agreement about that delivery date, and I told you how costly any delays would be.
I understand, but I'm trying to tell you the delays had nothing to do with us. We kept to our side of the deal.
Yeah, but the bottom line is I'm going to have to eat that cost overrun out of another budget.
Speaking of eating, where's our waiter? Hey, do you think we could order?
Yes, I'll be right with you.
Hey, we've been sitting here 20 minutes.
Oh, sorry. What do you think?
What do I think? What are you talking about?
The board. Do you think that I should underline the prices?
Look, we're
say,
in
with
kind of a hurry. I'll take the lasagna and the
Look at that. I'm so sorry.
Sorry? What are you sorry about? We haven't even ordered yet.
No one's brought you any rolls, and there's no water, and look at these unfolded napkins. Agnes, look at this table. I wouldn't seat my own dog at a table like this. Will you see to it that these customers receive their proper accoutrement, if you please? And as soon as things are under control, I will be right back.
I'm really sorry. It's my first day. I was just getting the hang of folding those butterfly napkins. I've never done anything like that before.
Ah, well, yeah, that's great. Look, we don't want any rolls. Why don't we even skip the water? What we'd really like to do is order our meal. Could we just do that?
Well, I'd really like to help you, but everybody gets rolls. Maybe I could skip the water. Maybe I could do that.
Oh, great, whatever. Let's just keep it moving. Yeah. Look, what's done is done. You and I have been in business for... I'll be honest with you, Harry. I am not going to take another delay like that one.
There you go. Have a nice meal.
But, Ann, you're missing my point. That delay was not our fault.
I understand.
Okay, now, folks, may I take your order, please?
Yes. I'll have the lasagna and a small...
Excuse me for one moment. Agnes, did I ask you to serve these people water?
Forget the water. I hate water. I also hate rolls. Now, can we please order lunch?
Of course, that's why we're here. Now, I will check on the lasagna, just to verify that we still have some. You see, high technology has reached even our humble establishment. Baker 1, this is Green Delta Fox. Come in, please, over.
Yes, Baker 1 here. What is it?
You're supposed to say over. How is the lasagna holding out? Over.
Out.
Baker 1. Perhaps I should check myself.
Forget the lasagna. I'll take a turkey sandwich, but please no tomatoes or lettuce, okay?
Oh, I am sorry. You see, all of our sandwiches come with tomato and lettuce, and we have a strict policy of no substitutions.
Look, I'm not asking for a substitution. Just leave out the tomatoes and lettuce. You can handle that, can't you?
Okay, I understand, and I will try my best. And, you, sir?
I'll try the fish. Never mind,
Baker,
I'll take the turkey sandwich.
Thank you. Agnes, perhaps you should clear table 3. It's starting to get busy.
But they're not...
No buts, Agnes. A restaurant can't run on buts. A restaurant runs on can-do.
There are your turkey sandwiches. And by the way, can't you get those people out there to order lasagna?
I thought you said we were out of lasagna.
That's not what I said. What I said was we may have to throw out the lasagna. It's beginning to turn green. You should turn up the volume on your receiver.
I tried that. Oh, by the way, one of these turkeys is without lettuce and tomato.
What?
Yeah, the lady was adamant.
All sandwiches come with lettuce and tomato. If you want to serve people a slab of turkey between two slices of bread, then go work in some dive. We have certain standards here, certain ideals of quality. Look at that. I got that from the American Institute of Creative Garnishing. I didn't get that award for nothing. I'm not going to compromise my standards for anyone.
Yeah, but the lady hates tomato and lettuce.
This is the way I make a turkey sandwich. That's my job. Your job is to serve it the way I make it. Okay? And while you're out there, see if you can't move the lasagna, which, by the way, comes without lettuce and tomato.
I don't think it's complicated at all. I'm your customer. You should listen to me. It's that simple.
But why won't you listen to me for 1 second?
Here we are. Enjoy your meal.
Just a second. Would you please take this back to the kitchen and ask someone to put a little more mayonnaise on it?
Take this back to the kitchen? I'm sorry. I can take his back, but I can't take yours back. No, you see, I've gotten into enough trouble in the kitchen over your sandwich.
I have had it with these crazy rules. Just take it back to the kitchen and get me some mayonnaise.
Okay.
Could I get you some more rolls?
In order to stay aligned with your customers, to move pride along the chain of customers, we have to ask our customers 3 questions. The first question is, what do you need from me? Now, that's not just the obvious, a report by Thursday, or a work order to be finished by Tuesday. You have to establish customer requirements for each one of the dimensions of pride. I learned that lesson very painfully. A few years ago, we had contracted with a major organization to build a very sophisticated training program. But the requirements were not well established. I felt as if I was being sent down to the beach to bring back a stone. Every time I brought back a stone, the client said, "Nope, not that one. Try it again." It took a lot of trips to the beach before I finally realized that I had to sit down and firmly establish each one of the pride dimensions before I could meet the needs of my customers. The second question you should be asking is, what do you do with what I provide you? In a quality organization, the answer isn't none of your business. If you understand what your customers do with your output, you can anticipate their needs and hopefully meet their needs even better in the future. The third question is there any gap between what I'm providing you and what you need? In a way, it's an ongoing performance report. Customers' needs change. You have to constantly ask, how am I doing? I recently worked with a chemical company that was trying to align the needs of headquarters with the sales force. I visited a salesperson and said, is there a gap between what headquarters is providing you and what you need? He said, there's a 7-inch gap. I said, what do you mean? He said, come on, I'll show you. He went to his desk. On his desk was a 7-inch thick report, the monthly report. It was full of information like how much manganese is there in bin 9, how much chromium in bin 240, information he had no need for. I said, what do you do with these reports? He said, I store them. I said, you store them? He said, come with me. We went to the back room. On shelves, there were rows and rows and rows of these monthly reports. He had no use for them, but he was afraid to throw them away, just in case anyone asked. Imagine the money that organization saved when they stopped sending those thick reports to people who didn't need them. Let's go back to our restaurant. Do you remember the customers of the restaurant at the table? Well, they were really a customer and a supplier. Right now, it's almost as if there's a brick wall between them. Let's see how asking these 3 simple questions can topple that wall.
All I know is that when I make a promise, I keep it. If you really cared about our business, you would have made sure the delivery was made on time.
How can you say I don't care about your business because of one late delivery?
One very important late delivery that's going to cause me a lot of problems. Besides, there's more to this issue than just that one delivery.
You're just upset.
You bet I'm upset.
Look, we're not getting anywhere this way. In terms of future deliveries, what do you need from me? What are your requirements?
I have to be able to count on the dates you give me. Then if there's going to be trouble, at least let me know a week beforehand.
Okay, fair enough. You know, I think it would help me understand your problems if I had a clearer picture of what you do with the delivery schedule. What do you do with the information you get from me?
Well, a week before delivery, the dates you give me go into the computer as inventory. Then the whole company sees that information, and they base their plans according to what they see.
I see. So it messes up everyone's plans and makes you responsible for all the problems.
Not only that, but it's almost impossible to unscramble the information once it's in the computer. That's why I could use a week's notice. That really would make a big difference.
Okay, that's clear. Now I need to know something else, Ann. What are the gaps between what you want from me and what you're getting?
This last foul-up on the delivery was only part of the problem. You should know by now how very important it is that I be able to get in touch with you. The past 2 months, it's been impossible to reach you.